My name is Ivan. Prince Ivan. Although I am a bastard, the royal blood of the Rurikids still flow through my veins. My siblings have always looked at me as their lesser, like I'm nothing but a mere servant in their eyes. My father is no better, always sending me to do his most dangerous or dirtiest tasks in the hopes that I'd just die or not come back at all, so that I wouldn't even be a thought in his mind anymore. But I always came back. After years of abuse and mockery, I decided that I will take it no longer. One day, my older brother demanded that I clean the horse manure in the barn house with my bare hands, just to humiliate me. But for the first time in my life, I refused. Refused to be treated like some animal. I knew that he'd try to beat me for my insubordination, but I was prepared, and I fought back. We struggled for a bit until he got the upper hand and began to strangle me, but little did he know, I had a dagger hiding in my tunic. Before long, the struggle was over, with the blade of the dagger sticking into my brother's throat. I was arrested immediately and thrown into the dungeon. My father, struck with grief that his precious heir had fallen to his bastard son, had scheduled to have me executed the very next day. But I had other plans. I will not go down that easily. I have learned that just because you share the same blood does not mean you are family. The Rurikid dynasty will crumble one day. I will be there to watch them fall, and I will laugh as I sit upon their throne. Hail, travelers! I am the Wandering Skald, and welcome to a brand new modded Crusader Kings 3 series, where we are following Prince Ivan, the betrayer of Ruthenia. Now, we begin this journey right after Prince Ivan escaped his chains in the dungeons of his father, King Iziaslav. Now, Ivan and his followers came up with a plan to break Ivan out of prison and run to a hideout nearby. He is not going to allow his father to execute him so easily. But he knows that he has to get out of his father's lands and the lands surrounding it as well, because his brothers control most of the lands surrounding Ruthenia. But before we escape these lands, as we are a fugitive on the run, let's go ahead and take a look at Prince Ivan the Betrayer. Now, Ivan, he's a callous man, considering what he's been through most of his life, being abused by his siblings and basically abused by his father as well. He's learned to be very callous. He's learned to shut off his emotions and become numb. Some people call him heartless. Some people call him cold. Ivan sees it as something you have to do to survive. Not only is he callous, he is also brave. Ivan has been sent on dangerous tasks by his father, not because his father thinks that Ivan is the most capable warrior person to do whatever these dangerous tasks are, but because his father, as it says in the intro, hoped that he just wouldn't come back or would maybe die on these dangerous tasks. But through doing these dangerous tasks, Ivan has learned to be very brave. He's learned to not really back down from danger, and he doesn't really feel fear when it comes to, close calls with death. He is also stubborn. Ivan has learned to not back down from anything. He's a bit bullheaded. He doesn't like to be humiliated or embarrassed. He doesn't like to be wronged. And he'll make sure that that's known. And he doesn't do what's asked of him without a fight, without some sort of argument or some sort of pushback. So he's a very stubborn individual. And then he is also vengeful. Again, considering all the abuse he's taken his whole life by his family. And now, after slaying his brother in self-defense, from what, how Ivan thinks. But now, after his father has scheduled to have him executed and his whole family is against him and wants him dead, he's a vengeful fellow. He wants revenge upon his family for all the mistreatment over the years. And he wants revenge for, his father basically seeing Ivan as less than human, not even his own son, basically. So he really wants revenge. He feels like he's been wronged, which he has, and he wants that wrong to turn right. Let's go ahead and look at his other traits here. Ivan definitely is, a very good warrior. He's very capable, and he's pretty good in the battlefield. But where he really shines is his deception, his intrigue, his secrecy, his ability to scheme in the shadows and get what he needs done without anybody knowing. Obviously, him murdering his brother was seen by plenty of witnesses, but Ivan's kind of glad that there were witnesses. He wanted people to see his brother take his last breath. But yeah, he really shines in the shadows. He shines in secrecy, and he plans to stay like that for quite a while. That's what he's good at. He is a bastard. He is a rare kid, but he's a bastard. He's not a legitimate son of Iziaslav. And that's kind of the root cause of all this mistreatment from his family, from the rest of the rare kids. And then he's also a kinslayer. He slayed his brother, a close kin. He murdered him. Again, Ivan says in self-defense. The rest of the rare kids see it as just plain old cold-blooded murder. He murdered, somebody superior than him, and it's a sin and it must be dealt with, and Ivan must be executed. And then his father publicly spoke out against Ivan, labeling him a criminal, labeling him as evil and Satan incarnate and whatnot. So he has been denounced publicly. But Ivan has always been a quick person. He's always been rather smart. He's caught on rather quickly to things just through observing, his brothers and his family and being within the royal court and having to keep his mouth shut for most of his life. He's learned a lot through just observation. So he's always been quick of mind. And he was born very strong as well. He's Herculean. He's very healthy. He's very powerful. He's very strong. He's a rather big guy. He's tall and muscular, and whatever genes his mother and father passed down to him, really helped him out in life. And then through all the abuse that he's taken over his lifetime, he's also a scarred individual. He has scars upon his face from the various lashings and whippings that his brothers and father has given him over the years. So he definitely has a distinct face with some distinct scars. So that is Prince Ivan the Betrayer. He's called the Betrayer, of course, because his family sees him as a betrayer, sees him as somebody who's betrayed the Rurikid dynasty. Obviously, Ivan doesn't see himself as a betrayer, but public image, through the word of his father, everybody knows him as a betrayer. So that is his nickname. Now, as far as the followers that broke him out of prison, people that he's known for quite a while, let's go ahead and look at them. So the first follower we have here is Boris the Hunter. Boris is sort of an outdoorsman. He's always been in nature and in forests, and kind of this crazy hermit that everybody's sort of left alone and just kind of wrote him off as some, crazy old kook in the forest. But Ivan would often go to Boris, in times of escaping his family. Ivan would seek out Boris and stay at his hut for a few nights, to get a little peace away from his brothers and father. And Boris would always allow Ivan to come in and rest and give him food and teach Ivan how to hunt and whatnot. So Boris is a very outdoorsy man, and he's always kind of looked after Ivan, in his childhood. So Boris is a rather eccentric man, being outdoors and sort of isolated away from society. He's a little crazy. You see him talk to plants sometimes and trees, and he's a little bit of a wild child, but he is patient. Being an avid hunter, an avid outdoorsman, you have to learn to be patient with nature. You have to learn to bide your time and wait for the right opportunity, especially when you're hunting. So he's learned to be a very patient man. And then, of course, he is cynical. It's one of the reasons he's been isolated from society. He doesn't really trust people. He doesn't really like people. He believes that people are, in it for themselves for the most part, and the majority of people aren't genuine. So he's a rather cynical person. That's why he isolated himself in the forest nearby. But he is an astute intellectual. He's a very smart individual. Despite being away from society and living out in the woods, he's very smart. He's read a lot of manuscripts and books and whatnot, and he's gained a lot of knowledge through spending a lot of time outdoors, learning about plants and animals and whatnot. He is a hunter. He's an avid hunter living outdoors. You got to hunt. You got to find your own food. So he hunts quite a bit. He's also an herbalist. He's learned the various herbs of the wild, so he can, practice medicine and treat his own wounds and ailments in the forests without having to go to a city or a town. He's a witch. He practices witchcraft in these woods. He's still orthodox, but he's a bit more occult than that. He practices rituals, and he's a bit complicated with his beliefs, and he is one-eyed. He's lost his eye. That's something that Boris has never really brings up. Ivan has asked Boris about it in the past, and Boris always seems to sort of change the subject all the time. He doesn't really like talking about why he's lost his eye, but he is one-eyed. So let's go ahead and look at the other follower. The other follower we have is Jan. Everybody calls him Tiny, though. Tiny is somebody that Ivan has known for a bit as well, sort of grown up with them. Ivan would escape the royal court and go into the streets and
and find Tiny. Tiny's kind of a misfit of the streets, a little bit of a street urchin. And Ivan made good friends with them. You know, got in a few fights with them, visited a few taverns with them. And Tiny's always been kind of the muscle for Ivan, you know, in the streets. So Tiny is a gregarious man. He likes talking to people. He's very social. You know, he likes being around others and spending his time with other people. He is a wrathful man, though. He's very, very quick to anger. He's a rather large man, so you don't want to anger Tiny whatsoever. But he is very quick to anger. You can see it when his face gets blood red and his veins start popping out. That you better watch out. And he's a bit impatient. Though he likes being around people, he doesn't like waiting that much. He doesn't like waiting on anything in life. And he believes that things should happen fast and they should happen now. And he's not a very patient guy. So he's kind of the opposite of Boris. And when he gets impatient, when he has to wait, he gets angry. And that's when his wrath comes out. He is a bit of a tough soldier. He's you know, a very good warrior. He's not really great at commanding, but he's a very good warrior. He is a loyal individual. People that treat him good, he, you know, decides to be loyal to them. If he's treated right, he will be a loyal friend to the end. He's a bit of a berserker. Whenever he does get mad, he just loses it and goes insane and loses all thoughts in his mind and just fights. So he's a bit of a berserker. He's also a giant. He's a very, very large man, very, very big. Why people call him Tiny, Ivan doesn't know, but he's always been known as Tiny, but he is a giant. He's also strong. He's a very, very strong man, very large, and he does have a lisp. You know, although he's very social, he has a hard time saying certain words, and he does have a lisp. People have made fun of him about it in the past, and he ends up showing those people why it's bad to make fun of Tiny. So that's our crew here. Let's go ahead and look at Ivan. We forgot to go over his stats here. He's not very good at diplomacy. He's not really good at talking or anything. He's lived a life of keeping his mouth shut, so he doesn't really know how to talk his way out of things. He has pretty good martial. He's pretty good at commanding and leading people, especially in those dangerous tasks that his father sent him on. He's learned to lead groups of people. He has decent stewardship. He's decent at organizing stuff. You know, he's decent at organizing people and ranks and whatnot. And then he has excellent, really, really good intrigue. Again, he's really good at deception and getting what he wants in the shadows through secrecy. And he strives or thrives at that. His whole life, he's had to do things that his family has looked down upon in secrecy, and he's learned to be very good at that. He has okay learning. He's never really had a formal education. His family kind of ignored that, so he's mostly been educated by life rather than books and universities. And then, of course, he's a very, very good warrior. All those dangerous tasks that his father sent him on, he's learned to fight and fight well. So yeah, that is the Red Company. Oh, the Red Company. Let's go ahead and change that real quick. There we go. That is the Red Company. Now, as far as the lifestyle, we are freebooters. We are criminals. We are wanted men. And Ivan, as far as right now, needs to do anything he can to gain some money, gain some men, gain some security. He doesn't really care what he has to do. He just has to do it. So we are freebooters. We are criminals. And then as far as our lifestyle, we are going down the intrigue tree here with Dark Insights as one of our first perks. So yeah. Sorry for the long intro there, but let's get started. All right, we are losing prestige because we are denounced. And we are losing a bit of piety because we are vengeful and that's sinful. So this is going to be a bit difficult to make a name for ourselves, but that's okay. All right, so first things first, we got to get the hell out of here. King Iziaslav is going to be looking for us, and he's going to be looking for us quick. So we need to get out of here. I think the fastest route is everything up here in the north is all controlled by Rurikids as well. So I think the fastest route is to go south, and I think we will go down here. Yes, Boris has given Ivan a route to get out of his father's lands as quickly as possible, and Boris recommends going south, and he will be our caravan master. Let's go ahead and scout for talent on the way there, see if anybody wants to join us, and let's be off. Start moving our camp here.
Get out of here before we are captured. Come on, my father's looking for us. Let us move.
My spot.
Move your accursed tent, damn it, Boris. This is my spot,
cries Jan, disrupting my evening walk. Boris seems unmoved, simply folding his arms across his chest.
It can't be your spot if it's got my tent up on it. Now can it?
He snarks back. Desperate for a higher authority, Jan whirls around to me.
Prince Ivan, please, I beg of you, discipline this wretch.
We have more important things to do right now. Figure it out amongst yourselves. We must move.
Come on. My father is looking for us.
The roads we walk. The path ahead stretches on and on, a lonely, winding thread twinning towards the distant horizon. My camp is quiet, just a few scattered tents and pack animals yawning in the breeze, strangers and hangers on the rise with the day, preparing for their morning chores with reluctance. Most are the miscellaneous chaff that flit in and out of a group on the road with each new settlement. Few faces catch my eye as ones I recognize, at least in more than passing. Let's see here. Oh, I see. These are to get the starting followers. I mean, we could get people. Soul the Humorless. It'd be perfect for our camp. The Timid. I think we're not going to take followers right now because we already have our 2 custom followers, and so I don't really want to cheat and just get 2 more followers because we got this event late. So we're gonna go ahead and take no worthy followers yet. We just need to get away from Kiev here. Scout for talent. I mean, we do have a willing follower right here. I come across a man while passing through Uman. He is indignant and shoots daggers from his eyes as I approach. The Lord be with you. I am Asa, the resident healer and herbalist of Uman. Locals turn to me to treat what ails them. Broken bones, rashes. I even deliver children from time to time. My passion for health and the humors fill me with wanderlust. I desire to explore. My skills could serve you well, he continues. Shall we discuss payment? Oh, you are a mystic. Vengeful, calm, impatient, mastermind philosopher. He's very, very smart. He has decent stats across the board. Well, Asa, it's good of you to join us. I wouldn't mind you in my camp, though I don't have gold, unfortunately. I do have food and clothing. If you follow us, I will happily feed you, and once we get some gold, maybe I can pay you. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use 800 provisions to get him. It's our personal physician. He has good aptitude there, so might as well. There we go. Let's go ahead. Who can be our second? Asa can be our second. Might as well. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make Asa our second. Jan, he's a bit of a wild character. He's very unpredictable, so I don't think he'd be a great second. So we'll go ahead and make Asa our second. Though Jan, I thought would be a good bodyguard, but apparently he's average. He would make a good stooge, though. We'll go ahead and make him a bodyguard. We don't want to piss off Jan. Let's keep going. Cutting rations, we're low. Leader, begins Boris, I couldn't help but notice that we are about halfway through our provisions. Shouldn't we start reducing our rations, or even better, plan for a stop to stock up? It's not an emergency yet, but these kinds of situations don't need long to take a turn for the worse. A simple delay, and we could find ourselves forced to eat the soles of our boots. It'll be okay, Boris. You're a hunter. Hunt for some food. There we go. We've made it. Ooh, murder foe, huh? Could murder a foe. Oh, there's a couple murder missions here. And do a passage of arms. Let's see here. Potential alliance. Yeah, okay. Potential alliance. He's not going to accept that. 1092. Yeah, that's our father. Father. One that threw us in prison. He doesn't like us very much. Let's see here. Let's go ahead for now. Let's go ahead and visit the castle holding. We'll actually gather some provisions first. We'll put out some snares and hopefully get something to eat. Nothing found. That's quite unfortunate. We'll go ahead and visit the tribal holding. See if there's any other contracts we could get. Jan's with us. The local Pecheneg people regularly gather in the tribal holding of Kara Karman in order to trade, gossip, and share stories. As I enter the cluster of dwellings, a stray pig is slowly moving across the path at the center of the encampment, and a small bird sleepily moves through the foliage a few paces to my right. My bodyguard, Jan, looks around with a content face, seemingly enjoying the change in scenery. Well, Tiny, I'm glad you're in a good mood. It wouldn't be very good to make you angry, so... let's go ahead and talk to the Elder and see if there are any contracts here. Lucrative opportunities. Wonderful. The Elder Boskin looks at me with a friendly gaze as I approach. Prudently tending to an ox cart, she informs me of any local issues and tasks that need addressing in the immediate vicinity. Eloquent negotiators needed for diplomatic dealings, adventurers wanted for a treasure hunt, discreet experts required for lucrative opportunities. Well, lucrative opportunities are right up my alley. Here we are. Could get some supplies. Don't have money to get supplies. Maybe we can take some. Isn't that the con? Look over there. Hey, we got some supplies. 525? Or 523. Nice. Let's go ahead and head back. We'll mingle with some locals while we're here. Jan's a social kind of guy. Ooh, there's a hooded individual. I'm invited into one of the tents. A surprising amount of people fit inside. Travelers and Pechenigs, all of them blending into one seamless buzz of human noise. Outside, a storyteller sits by the bonfire. Up front, a collection of loud tribesmen recollect their latest excursion. And at the corner of the counter, a stunning temptress sits, seemingly bored. By the entrance, I spot an inconspicuous hooded figure, clearly someone who values their privacy. Well, while we're here, I wouldn't mind hearing a story. And then the camp filled with women emerged victorious over the camp filled with men, allowing them to once more engage with each other. Well, had a few good points, I suppose. Who is that temptress over there? It's 26. She's not that good at anything. She is quite pretty, though. At least Ivan thinks so, but we have other things to worry about. I'm going to go talk to this intriguing hooded figure here. The hooded figure subtly slips through the dwelling and out the other end. I look around gingerly as I follow her outside and into an adjacent tent. Inside, she sits down by a chair, fronted by a desk, and lets the hood fall. I assume you recognize me by my reputation. The vile and small-headed criminal Goulet. I have tenderized people for slighter insults. Now what do you want? Goulet's gaze fixates on me as she raises an inquisitive eyebrow. Oh, she's a trickster. She's very good intrigue. She's loyal. She's a schemer. Let's see here. I mean, I wish I could hire her. I think she would be really good, but we have no gold. We could try to convince her. Maybe we should get some experience in intrigue. Ivan's not arrogant. He knows a good teacher when he sees one. He'll ask her to teach him in her trickster ways. There we go. We gained a gallows bait trait. I mean, we probably should already have that, but let's go ahead and head back. We've spent enough time here. Let's see here. Murder. Ooh, a heist. Ooh, we're pretty close to that too. I think we are going to do the heist. We desperately need gold. We have 0 gold, and Ivan has heard of a treasury nearby that is not all that guarded in certain hours of the day. And I think he's going to go ahead and take advantage of that. All travelers within and subjects of Catatier Alba. Count Abba reminds all of the punishments for theft or conspiracy to commit theft, and the bounties for those suspected of such. Only I may access the treasury. Well, we'll see about that. We'll travel to accept. Let us go. We will heist this treasury. Nobody will stop us. A spot of larceny. Preliminary scouting around Ketatea Alba suggests we might be able to get away with this. It's not the only place that Count Abba keeps his coin, but his holdings here definitely have plenty, and the guards don't seem to expect hostilities. In other words, risky, but doable. All we need is a cunning plan. Well, let's see here. Let's just get on with our task. We could definitely get this done easily. Go ahead and auto-invite all agents. We only have a 64% chance. Tiny is not a very good scout, and Asa is not a very good thief. Can we... Only removing you for now. I want to see if you guys are better at anything else. Tiny's definitely a better infiltrator. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make him that. And Asa's a really good scout. Maybe that'll get us higher. Let's see. It will, 75%. All right. Let's get on with this treasury heist. Ruin rambling. Scouting out ahead of the camp, I come across a ramshackle collection of traders. They are gathered around some large but old and ruined buildings, the remaining ones in good condition having been occupied by the merchants. Their wares are fairly standard, food mostly, being on a well-traveled road that would no doubt attract many purchasers. Yet my eye is drawn inexorably towards the gray, pockmarked walls of the ruins. So magnificent they are. The merchants occupy merely the outskirts, but its dilapidated heart remains untouched. There might be something hiding in those ruins. Might as well check it out. Oh, we did. Oh, we got a dusty weapon. Prowess +3. Yeah, we'll go ahead and equip that. Yeah, heck yeah. Prowess is 31 now. Oh, our stats are kind of goated. We did make Prince Ivan a bit strong. But you know what? It's fun, so I don't really care. Let's continue with this heist here. We already have 5 advantages. Ins and outs. As we trudge down the road, a building hoves into view. The battered sign outside reads, "The King's Arms Inn." No luck here tonight. We've barely got room for our current lodgers, let alone anyone new. Inside, the innkeeper shakes her head dismissively. And especially not you ragtag types. Ragtag. I am a prince. I am a Rurikid. Though I loathe that name, I am still royalty. I'm afraid I absolutely require lodging. Sungul. The hint was taken. Yes, it was. Alright, I think we're going to get the 10 advantages and try it then. A follower's heart? Has Boris found love? Oh my gosh. Boris. Prince Ivan, my litter. I have met the most beautiful woman here in Katete Alba. My caravan master Boris the Hunter stumbles as he addresses me. Her family will not let us marry without me paying a sizable dowry. He stutters sadly. Please help me. I don't have the gold, Boris. I can't. Let's see if she's willing to run away with you, if it's true love. Oh, Boris finds love. Boris, you wild bastard. You found love in Elena. Well, she's just your type. She balances you out well. Ah, Boris is our friend. Wonderful. All right, let's get these. No. What? Oh, no. To the worthless Prince Ivan, consider yourself warned. You and your ilk have outstayed your welcome in Pechenegs. If you do not take your camp elsewhere, I shall be forced to consider you a fugitive and make you leave. Oh, come on. Ah, they figured out our scheme. Damn. Well, it seems we need to be on the run again. These lands aren't safe as well. Fine then. We will go. Oh man, let's go ahead. We just need to move our camp, right? We could still do contracts, right? Let's go ahead and move we'll move south into the Byzantine lands. It's very dangerous. Our provisions will run low. We don't really have any gold to get a wilderness kit or anything. Maybe it's best to move over here. It was Crimea. It's rather dangerous as well. It's a desert. Oh, maybe we can get some rowboats. Let's see here. Customize route. Travel through the water. That's way less dangerous. And we won't run low on provisions. Yeah, we'll do that. Fly. Start moving here. Come on, Roman. There we go. We've made it. Unfortunately, those contracts disappeared. Negotiate an alliance. My brother wants to form an alliance with me. My brother. Why does he want an alliance with me? Doesn't he hate me? I killed his older brother as well. Strange. No. I don't need you, Mr. Slav. I don't need you at all. I will decline that offer. Don't contact me again. Let's see. My brother's trying to bait me back into the north here. He thinks I'm dumb. There's no contracts. Let's try to change that. This is the castle holding again. Talk to the town crier. Let's see here. Ooh. Collaborator. Let's see what that is. Improvise spycraft. Improvise spycraft. I mean, it's the only contracts we have. We're going to have to try it. 61 gold, 71 on an exceptional success. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do the first one. Trustworthy eavesdroppers and enterprising foreigners. The magistrate of Silistra wishes it to be known he is inviting useful revelations from across the Empire and beyond. Well, this seems like something right up our alley. Take this contract for now. Proactive reconnaissance. Magistrate Rodomir's call for educated reports on the happenings going on around his capital attracts all sorts of charlatans eager to earn easy coin for a silted rumor or obvious fabrication. Fortunately for him, my band and I aren't the same run-of-the-mill fools thronging his hall and can trade in more interesting stories of neighboring lands, though how useful they'll be is up to the good magistrate. First, though, we'll need to discreetly visit a few places that Rodomir is interested in knowing more about. Smaller group moves faster. Let us be off. We'll get you some stories. Seasons of change. As we prepare to set off in the morning, I see Boris stand outside the camp all alone. As I walk over to talk to him, I notice a change in the wind. I huddle my clothes around myself as a gust of cold wind hits my back, and I see the first signs of snow. The cold whispers that it is time for winter yet again. Seems to be winter time again. Danger. Traveling through the sometimes harsh environments has invigorating effects on at least my state of mind and vigor. As I glance over at Boris, however, he does not appear to be doing quite as good. His movement is labored, his breathing heavy, and spontaneous bursts of coughing ripple through his body. Clearly, he is not well. For somebody who spends so much time in the outdoors, you sure do get sick easily. Also, can you treat him? Proactive reconnaissance, Buzao. Low grumblings and laminations seem to fill Buzao, the annoyed chatter of the lightly scandalide. It seems a local creditor is calling in various debts all around the town, upsetting the locals worse than an unexpected tax. Worse, this is being done with the tacit approval of Count Sergio. To many, an unforgivable betrayal. Not the best atmosphere to go asking pointed questions in, but hardly the worst for finding embittered servants with loose lips. Suppose I'll put my ear to the ground and find out more about this. There we go, we got some useful tidbits. Proactive reconnaissance, Slobozia. All the talk in Slobozia is about some official or other in Count Claudius caught taking a truly staggering amount of contradictory bribes. A little corruption here and there is nothing unusual. For many civil servants, it's an expected portion of their salary, but these things have limits. Here, those limits have been stretched well past breaking. Poor news for the Count, excellent news for those with an interest in upset locals with stories to tell. I'm sure I can gather intelligence about this as well. There we go. All right, let's see here. I've already read this for a different guy, though. Put my ear to the ground. There we go, it's a success. Magistrate Radomir's agents meet us in Georgiou, eager to take our report to their lord. It's not much, with our gathered rumors and hearsay being so sparse. There's comparatively little here for Radomir's spymaster to work with. Little, but not quite nothing. A short, grumbled conversation later, the magistrate's spies bring forth our agreed pay. Discreetly, of course. Wonderful. An exceptional success. We got 66 gold. This is good. Danger, a buzzing scourge. The swamplands of Calarasi are swarming with tiny, dark, blood-sucking insects. No matter what we do or where we go, they are there, leeching our blood like a torturous cloud sent by Satan himself. Not only are the horses getting flighty and temperamental, but my entourage is as well, especially my bodyguard Jan, who's furiously flailing his sanguine-covered arms. Oh, Jan, you impatient bastard. They're mere insects, come on. Oh gosh. I know I'm callous, but I don't want to make Jan strip down. Okay, 54 stress. No, Jan's a good man. Come on, I'll be stressed out, though I want him to strip naked to stop his whining. Come on, let us go. The Songs of Basilius Constantinos. As we travel through the outskirts of Silistra, we suddenly see a jovial man in the distance, jumping, dancing, and singing to himself. He seems like quite the character. Would you like to hear some of the songs about Constantinos, the whoremonger of the Byzantine Empire? He yells at us as soon as we get within shouting distance. Before we have time to answer, he starts singing a merry tune about the depravities of Basilius Constantinos. Tell me more about the Basilius. Want to know his secrets. Bad directions. This morning, we asked for directions towards our next destination from one of the locals passing by on the road in Silistra. I'm not sure now whether we should have. We are lost, in other words. These directions we are trying to follow, were they bad directions to begin with? Or did we just misunderstand them? Maybe we should go that way. Come on. Crimes of passion. So there's a lot of events popping up here. Rounding a little cluster of tents as I leave my pavilion, I come across a gaggle of followers having dinner around a small hearth. Curiously, both Boris and Jan are amongst them, neither of whom particularly enjoy one another's company. Before I have time to ponder such a strange quirk of seating, Jan mutters something inaudible, only for the whisper to send Boris into a blind rage. With a flash, a weapon is drawn and blood about to be spilled. Tiny, did you ask Boris about his damn one eye again? You know that makes him more mad than anything. We'll try to intervene. Oh, they fight each other regardless. At least only fists were thrown and not swords. And there we go. We made it back to our camp. We have improvised spycraft again. I don't know if I want to do that again. Let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and move our camp. Move it a bit more south. These lands seem a bit more safe. Let's see, we'll go down here into the mountains a little bit. A little bit of danger, but not much. Let's get moving. Oh. Urikid Minsk. Huh. My uncle or something made a cadet branch. That's cool. A willing follower. 22 years old. Arrogant, ambitious, greedy. Don't have very good stats. I mean, might be good for Jan, for old Jan here. Maybe we can get Jan a love. She could be our stooge. I don't want to spend provisions on her. Get out of here. There we go. We've made it. Still no contracts though. Let's talk to the town crier. Martial duties. Be some hired muscle. Only 39 gold. 51 gold. That's pretty good. Sell swords. Yeah, we'll go ahead and be some hired muscle. The tour marshes of Sredets urgently seeks discreet swords for hire for short posting. Handsome reward offered for swift, clean work. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We're criminals, but we can be sell swords as well. Basically the same work. Beautiful vista. We come across a gorgeous vista in Billin, whatever the heck that is there. It is a beautiful view, unlike any other we've seen, and a picturesque expanse of landscape that truly shows the glory of our world. Several members of my entourage have insisted that we stay in this area for a day or two, so we could take time to admire the scenery. Well, now that we're out of danger and we're in these beautiful warm lands, I'm sure it won't hurt to enjoy some time here. Might as well. The womb of the earth. The fields of Barrow are a sight to behold. Every crop in bloom, every leaf green, every stem luscious. I quickly tracked down the source of the verdancy, spotting a man standing in a field, seemingly holding a lecture of some sort to a gathering of listeners. My name is Master Bardus. He notices me in the distance and turns to my direction. My knowledge of gardening is vast, yes, incomparably vast. So stay a while and listen. No. I am a prince. I'm not going to do gardening. Sticks in the wheel, ditch! I hear Jan shout out in panic. Soon thereafter, I hear a loud cracking sound, like that of wood breaking, or of my patience finally snapping. I step out of the grass to see the splintered remains of a wagon wheel. My wagon wheel. I'm sorry, my leader. It was my turn as lookout, and I fell asleep at the reins. Oh, tiny, tiny, tiny. What are we gonna do with you? Heard of you? Oh, they've heard of us, huh? Our name is already spreading. Following a sentry, I enter a dimly lit tent next to my pavilion, where a bedraggled trio of locals awaits me. They look nervous, as though being here were a risk. One of them stands before giving me a truly awful bow. Greetings, your lordship. Name's Zenon. The big lad is Dorotheus, and the other is Procopius. We're here to enlist. We're hard workers, at least within our field. And the way we sees it, you could use some help building up your name and lining your pockets. No. Well. Heard of us. This is good. You've heard of Ivan the Betrayer, at least that's what they call me. You guys are criminals yourself. Trickster, we got a thief. We have a marauder. Pretty good stats. 17 stewardship. This guy has 16 prowess. 17 intrigue. Huh. We can make him pay. Yeah, you can join. But what do you have to offer now? Come on, pay up. This isn't going to be free. You'll get rich in the future if you join us. We just need a small payment up front. Oh, they pay us. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. Cool. On a mountain trail. 1 foot after another, I slowly move forward on a narrow mountain trail. Suddenly, I hear a rumble and a quickly silent scream. Shocked by the commotion, I whip around. Instead of Elena walking behind me, there's only an equally befuddled and tired face of Jan, standing in front of a freshly turned rocks. Where is Elena? I demand to know, my voice barely escaping my dry mouth. The only response is a faint whistling of the wind. Ooh, Elena is missing. Boris's wife. You weren't keeping track of Elena, Boris. Oh gosh, many will perish. Seeing how narrow the mountain pass is, we can't risk turning around to save her. She made a decision. If she fell off, that's her own problem. We must keep moving. Just don't tell Boris, Jan. Just keep going and keep your mouth shut. Oh, man. She fell off a mountain trail. Hopefully Boris doesn't know. He doesn't seem to know that we allowed it to happen, or at least didn't try to save her. Hired muscle. My needs are simple, explains Hippolytos. There are certain thorns in the rows of threadets, and I would have you remove these prickly characters. I can't be seen to remove them directly, so you're going to deal with them for me. I draw a thumb across my neck quizzically. No, clarifies my employer. No serious bloodshed. Just keep them silent without killing them till they understand what it is to disrespect the Tormushes. Seems simple enough. Remember, we're here to earn. Come on. Auto-invite agents. 100% chance. Easy peasy. Let's do this very quickly. Without friends or protection. I am interrupted from my stroll near my pavilion by the approach of a nervous stranger. a man who introduces himself as Yakov and is clearly as alien to Sreditz as I. Lord, I find myself ill at ease in these lands, and I had hoped that so worldly a man as yourself might prove willing to take in a homeless ravenous. Momentarily, he pauses, steeling himself for a clearly expected rejection. I understand if you've already too many people to care for, but if you'll have me, I'll serve you loyally all your days. We can't stress regardless. Be gone, Yakov. We don't need you. Get out of here. We don't need him. Oh, we got a new intrigue perk. Let's see here. Ooh, crime pays. Criminal contract gold rewards plus 100%. I kind of want to get that, but then go down the schemer route, because there's a lot of good things in the schemer route. Like we can abduct people, which is really good. We can search for secrets. I mean, we need gold right now, so we're going to... Let's see, we need 3 perks before we get that. We'll get truth is relative for now. Maybe we can fabricate hooks and get people to pay us through that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Fabricate some hooks. Let's get on with this contract. We can get this done pretty quickly. What's the point? Boris has stopped bathing, stopped even making an attempt to clean himself even. A fact I am brutally confronted with when several of my followers beg me to deal with him. I know what you're thinking, boss, but it's not laziness. It's drive for efficiency. I can actually do more work if I spend less time wiping away the sweat of the road. This is what a relentless focus on value looks like. He's mad or a fool or both. I mean, he is an outdoorsman. He spends a lot of time outdoors. Makes sense that he's smelly. But if you're going to be smelly, Boris, I know you don't spend a lot of time around people, but if you're going to be smelly in my camp, you're not going to be around us. So, Boris, please start watching your hygiene. Bathe. Don't be the stinky guy in the camp. Our cousin was taken prisoner. I don't care. I don't care about my family's dealings. Fire and friends. Each night, one fire becomes the hub of the camp's social activity. People coalescing around my inner circle to wag tongues and trade friendly barbs. Tonight is no exception. Look, all I'm saying, chortles yawn to the giggling of several other followers, is that poor Asa might be boring, dry, chronically impassionate, the camp's greatest weapon against insomnia, and, oh, so sorry, Asa didn't see you there. A chorus of inebriated guffaws breaks out from the easily pleased onlookers, though it all seems to be wearing on Asa. We'll just soak it all in. We don't want to get Tiny mad, so we'll just soak it all in. And Asa, you've got to learn to have a strong, thick skin while you're in this camp. There we go, 100%. We'll go ahead and execute a hired muscle scheme. Seize the moment. There we go, success. Wonderful job, Ivan. The garden of Sreditz is beautifully, blissfully silent, and I can rest a little easier at night. He tosses me a pouch of silver. Please stay with us the next time you're passing through the area. I'm sure we can find suitable lodgings, not to mention suitable employment. Such an enterprising young freebooter. Thank you. I was only in it for the gold. I've got a long path ahead of us. Return to our camp. Ooh, a wandering knight. As we walk through the streets of Barrow, there's a loud ruckus by one of the market stalls, with 2 men yelling at one another. Before we can make our way there, a man has already stepped in between and talked them down. See, it will be fine, he tells the man in the stall with a smile, and hands him a solidi. Oh, the currency of the Byzantine Empire. And with that simple act of kind generosity, everything returns to normalcy. He turns to us as we approach, no banner or mark telling me of any liege lord, perhaps a wandering knight. Bit trusting. I don't really want to spend gold. I mean, he does have good prowess. He just doesn't seem like he would really fit in that much with our camp. Seems more noble than anything. I mean, not to say that Ivan's not noble. He views himself as noble, but he might not like our criminal ways, so we don't have time for him right now, at least. And we definitely don't have time for you, so hit the road. Here we go. We've returned. We do have a criminal. Ooh. We have a couple criminal contracts there. Ivan has heard word that there's rather wealthy citizens in Philippopolis. Maybe we should mug them. Do need more gold. We are getting rich rather quickly, but still need more. Our prestige is really taking a hit too. That is okay. That can all come with time. Time and money comes power. And with power, anything is doable. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end episode 1 of this new series here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this content, and leave a comment below letting me know what you guys think about Prince Ivan the Betrayer, his story, what some of his goals should be in the future. Also, let me know if you have any character suggestions. I will be more than happy to add any of your guys' character ideas into Ivan's story here, and make this, I want to make this rather immersive for all of you guys. I will be continuing the Children of Alexander. I will not be abandoning that series like I may have done for some of my other series. I do apologize, but I won't be abandoning that series. This series and that series will be my two main series that I'm going to be focusing on. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm really excited to play a criminal, and I'm really excited to play this bastard child of the Rurikids who's wanted for murder, but in reality it was a self-defense killing. But yeah. Until next episode, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Once again, I am the Wandering Skald. I'll see you guys later. Peace.